it was just a lot of nudity, okay? When I tell you the ladies bared it all on the red carpet, it was just almost too much to show on daytime TV. It was really bad. Like Julia Fox wore a completely sheer dress that barely covered her cookie jar. Okay, and I'm telling you, now, we blurred it out. This was fully, you could see everything. Zoe Kravitz graced us with her butt crack. You could see everything. Megan Thee Stallion wore a dark green gown with only matching green pasties to cover up her breasts. And so this is where I have to put my Auntie Sherry wig on. And I say this with all of the love that I have. Ladies, this is not it. And I say this because there are young women, young girls who are looking up to all of you. All of you. And like, you're gonna have these young girls, these young ladies emulating you. And you remember when your grandmother would tell you, let them use their imaginations. Be a little mysterious. But you know, when they look at these girls, they don't have any secrets. Nobody gets to use imagination or their mind. And I want to say, Megan Thee Stallion, I love you. I do. But I'm so upset because God gave you a legitimate gift. You are amazing with your lyrical rhymes and how smart you are. And I know people, a lot of these celebrities, they say they don't want to be a role model. But here's the thing. It comes with the territory, being a role model. You can't escape it because, Megan, when you said you graduated from college, do you know how many young girls you inspired to go to school also? You didn't ask for that. You didn't ask for that, but they were watching you. And I know people say, well, you know, Lil' Kim did it. But I remember when I saw it, I was like, why is she doing that? Like, she doesn't have to do that because she's so talented. And I know Megan as an artist, you get a little raunchy. I done heard WAP and Body Yaddy Yaddy. But I also say, and I listen to those songs too, but I also say, to whom much is given, much is required. And if you say, well, how do I know that these young girls are looking up to you? Because they look up to me too. And I get more girls coming up to me, young girls saying, Miss Sherry, I want to be a talk show host, or I want my own talk show, or I want to be an actress. I want to do what you do. So they are watching. And I'm not trying to shame anybody. I'm just concerned where all this is going. I said it before when I talked about Kanye's wife who went to the Grammys last month, and she took off her coat and had nothing on. It literally, it wasn't just her cookie jar. We saw cakes and croissants, too, when she was standing there.
All right. So what do you think about what Sherry is saying? Because she's going to get blowback. Because the theme right now is everybody do what you want to do. If it makes you feel comfortable, just do what you want to do. So anybody's being an auntie, like Ryan was saying earlier, auntie and uncle to people, they like, man, you just perpetuating male dominated society, blah blah blah. So what do you think about what she said?
I feel like with the other topics, it comes back to lust of the flesh, lust of this world. What do you want, and what are you willing to do to get it? Because you can say all day, oh, she doesn't have to do that. From a female that works in the industry, yes, she does. Wow. If you want to get to a certain level, yes, you do. If you want to be relevant, yes, you do. If you, come on, even, Cheryl Ralph?
Oh yeah,
she just got interviewed and she said the same thing. She was like, oh, the quickest way to get an Oscar, especially as a black woman, is to get on a stripper pole. You have to do something immoral for you to win an Oscar. So it's like, yes, it is. And especially being a black woman in the industry, like being an actress and stuff like that, how many roles I had to deny because I had standards and because I had Christ. Yeah. It's like, if you want to break through a certain threshold, you need to be naked. You need to be showing something or saying something crazy. And I used to have HBO. I could have been pop. But it just was like, no, I have standards and I refuse to do it. So these women, they're doing it because they want to be relevant. They want awards. They want Grammys. They want to stay in the limelight. And it's like, what you willing to do it and stay popular, stay on top. That's why they're doing it.
Can you name anybody who didn't compromise and got to that state, that place? Like, can you name it? Off the top of my head, when you say that about the Oscars, I'm thinking about, well, Halle Berry had to do something in Monsters Ball. When Denzel got his, it was from Training Day, and he was naked in Training Day. And then there was also this portrayal of a character, but demonic presence, and so yeah. I'm asking you, like, because I don't pay attention to any of this stuff, y'all. Y'all know me. I don't do the whole Oscars, BET Awards. And if I have to look at it, it's because I'm doing some research for the show and I watched a clip. So I don't indulge myself into this world. So is there anybody that you know, for example, that made it there the legit right way? Because I've never heard of it. I just wanted to know.
There's people who have gotten Oscars that haven't been naked, but it's usually because they've been typecasted into the non-sexual person, right? Like Olivia, what's her name?
That's what I was thinking. Octavia Spencer.
Octavia Spencer,
That's what I was
yeah.
thinking
What's
of
the
too.
one? Her name slipped my mind. The lady who played, it was a lawyer show. Then it was the woman king. I think it was. What's her name?
Yeah, I know you're talking about. She was Annalise.
Yeah,
Keating
Annalise.
on-
Viola Davis.
Viola Davis.
Yeah.
So,
So
the
there's-
chat is saying Whoopi Goldberg. Zoe.
Yeah. So there's a path to do it, but you have to be kind of seen as non-sexual
Zoe
in the first
Saldana
place.
does not count. That girl
Yeah,
is
she
all kinds of naked.
She
in
called
her new
Latina
show.
every time she can. Every
Yeah.
opportunity she can.
She's also doing films now where she's naked.
I look at that stuff, man. I think, like what Sean, some of what you were saying, man. I think it's all this lust and perversion is under the guise of self-expression and be yourself and don't let anybody restrain you from this
Own
and
your
that.
sexuality.
Own your sexuality. So that's the lie that's being portrayed. But as a man, I'm gonna keep it a bean. As a man, like the man in me who loves women, when I see certain features on a woman, okay, it's a point of me that's like, okay then. But am I gonna take you home to meet my family? Am I gonna try to live a life with you or make you my wife? Like, nah. So we got this whole generation of women out here, young women, who are dressing like this and doing these different things and going through that. And then you look online every day, you'll see them, man, these men ain't no good, they did this and that. Like, nah. The man bought what you had for sale. You led with your sexuality, you led with this, you led with that. And the man, he gave you what you were presenting. Now, if you're a woman with some class, some integrity, and some character, like some men might not even approach you because they know, like, oh, she's serious, like she a good girl. We ain't gonna fool with her. We heard guys say that. Like, but if you're a guy about your business, that's the kind of woman you want. Somebody you can build with, you who got more than what she just possessed physically. You want something mentally. You want something spiritually. You want all that. So all this, be yourself. Don't let them restrain you. Don't follow the rules. All this kind of stuff. Like, you playing yourself.
But not to let the guys off the hook though.
Yeah, same thing with guys.
Because if they're looking at you and you calling yourself a good guy, but then every post I see where somebody naked or shaking something, you like
Oh, yeah, you tripping.
fire emoji. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, no,
Not
but I
the
want a good girl. And but they see you liking all kinds of nonsense, right?
You want to try, dude, see where he at. Go to Instagram and hit his explore page.
Explore.
Whatever you see on his algorithm, that's what he's looking at.
Because I mean, like the point is that for young men, you have to be serious about this. Like, this can't be something you're like, I want a woman of God, but I'm constantly distracted by women selling. You're buying it too. You can't complain about the other men when you participating in the commerce exchange.
If you pitch in the kitchen, you still playing ball.
You're supporting the industry. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to literally be disciplined when you're by yourself.
Right.
It don't matter what you say when you're on outside or on your IG or on your podcast or on your whatever. When you're sitting by yourself and nobody will ever know what you're doing, you're disciplined. You don't like nothing.
Yeah.
You don't follow nobody you shouldn't follow.
Yeah.
But are you still looking?
Yeah.
Because you're part of the problem. Because the young ladies are seeing that is what gets the attention, even from the good guys.
Yeah, and you got to be real with yourself. Like, as a dude, like I was saying, we see it. You be scrolling on your phone, you might. But then, you know what I'm saying? Like, just be, man, I'm going to keep it a bean every time. But what I've started doing, like, 'cause that stuff, some of that stuff get pushed to you. You got to be, it's a spiritual side of it. Being the Lord face and all that, but it's a practical side of it as well. It's these buttons you can push on your phone. When these images are coming to your phone, if you're really serious about avoiding those things, you can say block this or I don't want to see this. It makes me feel uncomfortable, whatever it is, and it'll restrict those kind of images coming through your phone.
And some of the stuff that gets pushed to you is because of somebody you're following. So I always try to trace back like who in the world is watching this and making it show up in my feed.
Yeah.
I could love you to death, but I'm not following you anymore.
Yeah.
Like you literally like expect. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to get off Twitter, man.
Well, that's
People-
porn.
Twitter's porn.
Twitter's porn at this point.
We messed up Twitter.
Yeah, people
Following people.
People who like because like being nice, like following people back when they follow us, can't do it anymore because the same pages that were like I'll look at their bios. Oh, love Jesus, Christ, but then it's not that they post it, but they repost
Like
it
it,
or they
yeah,
like
repost.
it. So
Wow.
now your likes are showing up on my feed, and it's just full of nonsense.
Yeah.
Twitter's trash. So, but the point is that now I got to go back and trace because it'll show you why you're seeing it. So now I got to unfollow you because now you put trash on my feed.
Yeah.
So it's a battle. You got to decide that you want to do it from in the first place.
Yeah, you gotta be real about it because it's tempting. Like if you a man, like if you don't cross the Jordan before, you know what I'm saying?
Lord,
You parted the Red, you know what I'm saying? You done parted the Red Sea, you know what I'm saying? You did all that. You know what it's like. Like as a single man, I'm gonna tell you now, it's tough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's hard to do all that. You really got to be intentional. If you're not intentional, you're going to perish. You're going to perish. You got to be intentional, but it's possible. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I wanted to say, that's where men and women kind of differ. And that's where you need those older women. So shout out to Sherry for doing that. You know what I'm saying? And she put herself on the line to do that.
did.
Praise God. But
Yeah. 'Cause you always-
women got to have some foresight.
Yeah.
Men will be okay. See, the thing about, I bring up Brandon Marshall. He could have been a slut his whole life. At 40, he had his revelation.
He'll be fine. Yeah.
And he gonna be okay, and women still gonna respect him as a man of God.
Yeah.
Now, if I know since you've been a young lady that you've been giving your body away, and at 40 you try to be like, I gave my life to Christ,
You burnt out.
you burned out.
That's how we ain't
So
saying
what-
you are. That's how they gonna look.
But
at
that's how
Let me
men are
clarify
gonna
that,
perceive
you know what I'm
you.
saying?
So that's how that man of God
You
that
burnt.
you want, but he know your past. He's gonna perceive you like that. So women gotta have that. You have to have that foresight, and it's hard. And you won't have
It
it
ain't
with
fair.
you won't have. It's not fair, but
Yeah,
you
it ain't
won't
fair.
have it without women like Sherry
Yeah.
telling you like, "Hey, baby, hey, put some clothes on now because one day, you know what I'm saying."
Well, you know, it goes back to like what Sherry said. Like you had your grandmother telling you X, Y, Z. You know, I hate to say this, but a lot of things can be traced back to family. If you had family that was telling you this is not appropriate, like I know my wife, she still has her great grandma. My kids have their great grandmother living, right? My wife has her grandmother. My grandmothers have been deceased for years now, and you know, it was one of those things where it's like if you have women in your life that are not gonna ever be okay with this, you probably won't do it. You know what I mean? Because
unfortunately, some of them women are telling
some
you
of
it's
them,
okay.
okay, so let's just say
Some of them aunties telling you it's okay.
88-year-old woman didn't grow up in a society where the Meg Thee Stallions ran around and did all this kind of stuff out in public.
Hey, they have 15 kids though.
Well, okay, my grandmother was one of
They had their
18.
equivalent
saying?
at their
Hey.
time.
But that was a farm.
Hey,
That's all they had to do.
Somebody pumping out 18
farm
kids.
land.
It was a farm.
Hey, that's assembly play. You put 18 kids, boy.
Four baby daddies.
Yeah, but
Right.
no, they all had the same parent. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But it's just one of those things where you have older people that are giving you that wisdom, right? And so I think that's one of the things that hurts. I don't know what Meg Thee Stallion's mother was like before she passed away, but I would like to think that she would say, hey, you know.
She was like Meg. So she trained Meg to be what Meg is now.
Oh, so she.
Because her mom was a rapper. Her mom was a rapper.
Okay. I do remember the
I was about
story.
to
And
say,
she let her
her mom was alive.
and she let her go out like that. You know what I'm saying? Because she knew, okay, this is what it take in the rap game. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Some of these people are listening to their moms and aunties and grandmas.
Right.
Yeah.
They
Some-
tell them to do what
Don't
they
put
doing.
grandma in it though.
Grandma
tell
too.
me grandma's not
Grandma's doing it too.
the influencer.
Man,
Maybe
bro.
grandma's like bring the check so I
No
can
lie.
take care of this.
I done been in a situation. I've been out before Christ and go to a club. I see a mama and a daughter together at the same club.
That's okay. I'm talking about grandma.
that's
No.
okay.
I understand that. Because there's a lot of women that daughters are in the same age
Yeah,
and they're
but
trying to
when
hold on to
when
their
your
youth.
daughter 20 and your mama 40, and y'all at the same spot.
Man, 38.
I mean, but here's the
37.
thing
That's
though.
wild.
you're at the same spot. That's possible, right? 40 and 20. We're in our 40s.
Don't no 40-year-old woman need to be hanging out with no 20, 21-year-old women at no nightclub.
Now I saw that all throughout my Radio 1 career.
Nowadays,
That's not new to me. But the grandmother thing
the point is
new to me.
It's not that the grandma's there. Some of these people's grandmas are telling them it's okay. You're assuming that just because you owe me, you giving them good advice. So
y'all
some of y'all need to stop listening to
So
your
we need
grandma.
granddaddy. Where granddaddy at?
Yeah,
Both
I'm
of
not-
them.
We
Look
need
at-
I was about to say both of them. Granddaddy don't mean much.
Some of y'all need to stop
Granddaddy liquor
listening.
house.
Stop
Right, multiple
listening.
families.
Stop listening to your family and go in the Bible and find out.
Yeah.
Because
Amen.
some of y'all families messed up.
That
Let me just
scripture
tell
be
you
the
the truth.
final authority.
I wouldn't listen to nothing my grandfather said.
Wow.
Rest in peace.
Oh, we gotta
he
have
has
a conversation
neither
about
one
that.
of them.
Have to have a
Rest in
conversation.
peace. They were not good examples. So just because you old don't mean you got wisdom.
No, I agree.
Find somebody who knows what
I
they
wouldn't
talking
say
about.
wisdom. I would say
Old
just
fool.
understanding. Like,
No,
No,
not my
or that
grandfathers.
you'll have that perspective.
Not my
No.
grandfathers. They were a mess.
my
It was
family
side
was.
pieces too. But to go back to the it comes down for how far what you want and how far you want to go. Because even the actresses, I was looking them up: Octavia Spencer, Viola Davis, even Taraji, who was
Letitia, right?
nominated. These are all supporting actresses. Best actress is still Halle Berry. So it's like what do you want and how far you're willing to go to get it.
That's true. Yeah.
So even if you have a church grandmother that pray over you that's telling you, baby, I don't think you should do that. If she want to do the top or do the most, she may do what she got to do to get there. So it's like, but to put it in a perspective as believers, it's like, is it enough for you to just be acting to where you don't have to sell your soul to get those awards? Like, because even if you're in Hollywood, it's like, okay, because I'm an actress, I've acted in Hollywood, I've been on several sets and stuff like that. But it's like, I'm satisfied with acting and doing my gift. I don't have to get an Oscar. Now I would love to get an Oscar. And I feel like I had to make the decision within myself to where it's like, I can pray for a different route. So like, let there be a breakout role like Precious. That happened. And I get an Oscar like that, but I don't necessarily have to do the things that Halle Berry did and these other people are doing to get in these positions, or even Lala Anthony. Y'all want to break in? That girl was butt naked on that. And it was like, Lala, did you really have to do that though? Did she? But she wanted to be on Power. And look what she lost because of it. So it's just like, you really have to make that decision for yourself. What are you willing to do and what you're not willing to do? If you're going to stand for Christ or if you're going to do whatever because you want the Oscar. Because that Oscar's still going to be on your table when you die.